Hey guys, City here. Welcome to part 2 of what would happen if Piccolo and Kami fused in the Saiyan Saga. Now, if you watched part 1, you'll know this is in response to a video by Moscow X, who had a very different take on the scenario than I did. Anyway, let's continue. And remember, much of what follows is less based in fact, as it's very difficult to predict at this point. So, once dynamic, there's so many things that could go wrong here. So it's hard to come up with anything concrete. So I'm going to go with what I believe would be the best possible scenario for our heroes. There are a lot of power increases here. Bear with me as I try to go over them quickly. So upon arriving at Namek, the weak Frieza soldiers confront the heroes, but they're easily destroyed because they're quite weak. And after sensing some high power levels, I believe our heroes would try and find a cave to hide in. And in this case, the same one from the main timeline. And being at the same time, Frieza's soldiers do fly by after they arrive. Goku and Piccolo, realizing Frieza's Dragon Balls, decide to follow while suppressing their powers at the same time. At Dende's village, a similar scene to the main timeline occurs. Either Goku and Piccolo intervenes, most likely when the killing of children comes into play. Dende is saved, and Dodoria gives chase. However, after getting sufficiently far from Frieza, Piccolo is able to easily kill Dodoria. Once back at the cave, Dende tells of the Grand Elder. And then Dende takes Goku to the Grand Elder so they can retrieve his Dragon Ball so they can hide it from Frieza. Piccolo, in this case, will end up staying with Bulma because she refuses to be left alone. So once at Elder's place, Guru gives Goku the Dragon Ball and also unlocks his potential. Now, using the increased Krillin got from his potential unlocked as a guide, goes roughly 2,000, becoming 13,000. So Goku's power will be multiplied by times 6.5 to about 12,000. Since he would have had no Zenkai boost, since he didn't fight Vegeta, then the month he only had a normal gravity training available. So his power becomes 78,000. Goku then thinks it's a good idea to have Piccolo's potential unlocked too. And they make it back without incident to get Piccolo. Now I'm going to say that Piccolo was probably able to catch Zarbon alone and kill him, because I think he would leave Bulma alone to do that. But so when Piccolo returns, Goku takes to get his potential unlocked, which puts his power at 514,800, which is very respectable. Then the Ginyu Force arrive, and they head to front Goku and Piccolo, who move away from Guru's house in anticipation. Now, of course, the Ginyus will be as confident, flamboyant as ever, but that will quickly disappear as soon as both Piccolo and Goku power up. None of them would have the chance to do anything before they would all be defeated. And Ginyu would try to change bodies, but he would probably be stopped by Piccolo, since Piccolo's power being so much higher allows the speed to be vastly higher as well. And while he wouldn't know that Ginyu is trying to change bodies, he would stop him from doing whatever Ginyu was going to do. And Frieza, of course, would have noticed Piccolo's high power on his scouter and would realize he needed to end the pests himself. When Frieza arrives, he would see Goku and Piccolo still standing, now joined by Nail and Dende. So they were in the area, but of course Dende would be hidden. Frieza would likely be upset that his most elite soldiers destroyed so easily, and now he's got to get his hands dirty. He would start to attack, and we would see a scene similar to when Vegeta and Frieza first started fighting the main timeline. Because Piccolo's power being near Frieza's would put up tough resistance. Frieza, though, would transform to a second form, which would put him way above Piccolo now. And after showing Piccolo for a while, because he's not just going to kill him easily, because that's not who Frieza is, but he would toss him inside and leave him for dead. Then Goku, using his Kaioken, would be taken on Frieza next. But of course Frieza would just be toying with him as well, because Goku's not even with Kaioken, would be below Piccolo. However, that fight would allow for Dende to heal Piccolo. And after being healed, Piccolo would be ready to jump right back in, but would be stopped by Nail, who suggests they fuse to beat Frieza. Piccolo would agree not to a fusion, but only to absorbing Nail. And if we use the same formula from part 1, his power level after the fusion would be 13,363,200. From here, one of two things would happen. First possibility is Piccolo beats Frieza without allowing him to transform to his final form. The Ego does quite easily, especially how long Frieza's final transformation takes. The only other option would be Piccolo allows him to transform, which is highly unlikely, and Goku somehow is magically able to beat Frieza after getting several Zenkai boosts before Frieza kills him or Dende, because you need both for the Zenkai boost to work. Either way, doesn't matter too much for the story. Without Krillin here to die, Goku likely wouldn't be Super Saiyan. But we're going to go with the first scenario anyway, since it's far more likely. With Frieza dead, and Namek still around, they would be able to get a new Guardian, which in this case would be Dende. And the month's journey back home, Dragon Balls would be restored, but now with 2 wishes. They would plan to use the Dragon Balls to bring back Namekians who were killed by Frieza. But they would be informed by King Kai that Namek was destroyed by King Cold, which I'll explain in a minute. So instead, they use both wishes so they can revive the Namekians on Earth. So they wish their spirits to Earth, and then wish them back. This was allow a new Namekian elder to be chosen. Using the new Namekian Dragon Balls, a new Namek is created far beyond the reaches of King Cold. As for King Cold, he would not come to Earth, as all information towards Frieza dying by a Namekian, presuming from Namek. So by destroying Namek, King Cold would kill the Namekian that killed Frieza. And he wouldn't have probably heard of Earth either. Now, a few years later, we would not see, obviously, Trunks coming back, because he wouldn't exist, because Vegeta's dead. So after a few years, Goku dies from the heart virus. And then the androids show up, and just like in Trunks' timeline, kill the Z-Fighters, with the exception of Gohan. However, with Dende as the Guardian, the Dragon Balls still exist. They are collected and used to revive the Z-Fighters, except Krillin and Chaozu, who died twice. They could potentially be revived later with Namek Dragon Balls, but that doesn't matter for the story. Piccolo would suggest that he and Gohan train in the hyperbolic time chamber, as Piccolo would probably know about from Kami's memories. While in here, Gohan would probably become Super Saiyan, unless he already became Super Saiyan when everyone was killed by the androids. But either way, he would be the first Super Saiyan. That after this time of training, whether it's 1 year or 2 years in the chamber, Gohan, he is much weaker than in the main timeline. No Super Saiyan 2. Or even as strong as he would have been in Super Saiyan 1. But he's still able to beat the androids. And peace is restored. Gohan would, in this timeline, would likely keep training, being that he's the strongest by far, and wouldn't want a repeat of what happened with the androids. With that, we have arrived at the end of our scenario. What happens next? We can't predict, so I won't try. Remember, this scenario is not the only possibility. There are innumerable possibilities, because we will never know exactly what would happen, because, well, it just didn't. And I want to give a big thanks to Moscow X, because his video inspired me to make this one, and I really enjoyed this, so I think I might do more in the future. What do you guys think would happen in this scenario? Let me know in the comments below.